Hi there, and welcome to another installment in AgilePoint's Low Prep AI Use Case series, where we demonstrate practical, high-impact AI use cases that solve real-world problems and, most importantly, can be implemented in an instant. Now, in today's example, we're going to tackle customer support and highlight how our friends on the front line can be freed from manually processing inbound inquiries and leverage AI to allow them to focus on more value-added work. Now, as we mentioned in the prior slide, the front lines for any organization oftentimes involves an employee, or a few if we're lucky, who are tasked with monitoring an inbox to process inbound inquiries. Think about the info at or general at sorts of addresses. These employees are tasked with tedious, error-prone work that can oftentimes set the tone for any subsequent interaction a prospective customer has with an organization and the potential to forever taint their perception. Now, rather than frustrate employees and customers alike with slow response times, misdirected routings, and who knows what else, let's take a look at the AgilePoint approach. So what was previously a manual effort to sort through a deluge of inbound emails is now automatically processed and categorized via AI, augmenting your internal capabilities and reducing rates of error along the way, resulting in happier, more productive employees. Emails that were once forwarded into a black hole become a part of an automated process with task assignment, reminders, and tracking. So nothing falls through the cracks and your customers are happier as a result because their inquiry is answered in a fraction of the time it took previously. So we have our application up in design mode, and as you can see, it's relatively straightforward. The process starts when an inbox that AgilePoint is monitoring receives a new inquiry from a customer. That event will trigger our AI agent to parse and classify the inbound email and direct the task to the appropriate parties. Now, to give you a sense of how the configuration works here, if you've had conversations with ChatGPT or provided custom system instructions, you already have the required skill set. Now here, I'll only have two windows to configure, the first being the overall goals and mission, to extract and analyze the content of an email and categorize it, with the Instructions tab providing additional guidance as to how to categorize that inbound email. Now from here, the appropriate process branch will be activated, and as you can see, I have a number of sub-processes. To see what those look like, I've brought up the logistics sub-process, where a task will be directed to a logistics team member to field the inquiry and provide a resolution. Following that, the initiator, the sender of the email, will receive a task to acknowledge resolution. Moving into my outbox, we can see the details of the email that I've just sent. As you can see here, the subject line reads shipping issue, and that I have yet to receive the product as ordered. So having kicked this off, we can now open up our process tracker and follow along in real time. Now, as you might expect, the shipping branch has been activated, which means I can now go into my task list and assume the role of the logistics team. So a task is now sitting with me. In this interface, I can review all of the details extracted by OpenAI and provide my resolution. So as you can see here, we apologize for the delay. We'll immediately ship a replacement and expedite the delivery. So having completed this, a task will now be directed back to our customer to acknowledge the resolution, and if needed, go back and forth with our support team. So that email has just hit my inbox. All of the details of the relevant task with a link to take action. Okay, so here I can see all of the details, my original email, logistics team resolution, and the ability to provide my approval. Okay, so with that, that's going to conclude the content for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.